Let's find out what happens in game number 2. Spawning over here in the top right corner, ladies and gentlemen, we have the one, the only, AcRo. Will he be able to take it back? Our German Protoss player. In the meantime, in the bottom left-hand position is the red Zerg player, the UK WCS champion. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Ziktomini, representing Western Wolves. Real exciting times here, guys. One of these players is definitely going to get a seed. In the other half of the bracket where the semifinal was already being played, we had Kras go up against Delphi. Both incredibly strong players. I would say Delphi might be a slight favorite. Let me just refresh and see what the bracket... And Kras has won it 2-0. So, Schnapple, you can just totally ignore everything I just said because Kras, ladies and gentlemen, has that sponsored seed to I-47. And this will determine the 8th and final qualifying spot, potentially this game, but definitely this series. Zikto now just being the recipient of a little bit of frustration from this scouting probe, who's trying to stop any and all drones from mining from those close mineral patches. And it looks like Ziktomini is employing here the honey badger approach, where he's just not going to care, and he's going to continue mining from elsewhere anyway, and I'm going to put my pool down, so what are you going to do about it? And AcRo eventually gives up. So, cool stuff coming out from them there. Good knowledge of the timings required. This probe is on a patrol route around where the hatchery would be. And he, once again, is going to be going Nexus first here on Cloud Kingdom. Ziktomini, in the meantime, just going to continuously harass this probe, and it should end up moving out soon or planting down a pylon. Nope, did not do that last game, not going to be doing it this game, decided that wasn't worth it. And we have the Nexus going down here for our Protoss player. In the meantime, not too much else is going on at this moment in time. Oh, and yeah, Gateway, Forge popping down, everything looking pretty normal here from both sides. And looking like, there we go, finishing off the wall off and getting the cannon down as well. There are a couple of Lings out, but he's not going to be using them to try and get past the... try to get past the wall at this moment in time. Third base coming down for Ziktomini as well. Double gas being taken now inside the main base of AcRo. So it's looking like he is going to be teching up at some point reasonably soon indeed. And ooh, actually that Overlord not quite in correct position from Ziktomini over the high ground. Now sorting that out so the cannon can no longer see it. And still no gas being taken from Ziktomini. Of course, he wants to be powering up, getting those queens, getting as many drones as possible off of 3 bases as he can. He's actually down in workers at the moment, temporarily, 26 to 28, but he will have 3 hatcheries worth of production very soon, so that's going to start skyrocketing. Cybernetics core, about a third of the way down as well for AcRo at the moment. And it looks like he's going to be going up to some sort of tech. He's already up to 150 gas. Are we going to see a robotics facility quite early on be placed down here? Let's find out. That's that double gas is going to be coming in very useful. Now going up to 200 gas and taking his 3rd gas as well. Wow, wow, wow. In the meantime, there we go. There's the robotics facility on top of the ramp. So he has spent that. We are going to be going into 1 gate and then a robotics facility popping down. And in the meantime, still more and more drones coming out from Ziktomini. He's now up to 39 workers versus 36. Supply blocking himself just a little bit there, but the Overlord popping out at just the right time. He's going to be starting his Roach Warren as well. So once again, guys, this looks like a little bit of a bread and butter ZVP so far, but Ziktomini only needs to win this game. He can afford to play standard and just try and outplay his opponent and see if he can 2-0 it to that spot at I-47. He's now taking both gases in his main. Are we going to see any gas taken at the natural? No, not yet. So only 2 gases taken so far from our Zerg player. And in the meantime, AcRo scouting every corner of his base for potential overlords. And he might... will he get this one? I think he's not going to quite get it. It's going to go down to like 10 health or something like that. 36, 22, and okay. One more hit, it would have been 10 health. I was totally right. Maybe not. Okay, never mind. Fourth gas being taken now for AcRo. The point is it managed to survive, and we have a replacement Overlord going to be taking his place. Just going to be scouting in towards the third base location, make sure that doesn't get sneaked in. We have got a lot of sentries and a lot of immortals coming out from AcRo, so I wonder if this is going to be a 2-base all-in on Cloud Kingdom. Still continuing to chrono boost out those immortals as well. He does not have an observer, so it looks like this could be a sentry immortal-based play. He has managed to drive away those overlords, and he did it with the Stalker as well, so it's not entirely obvious. So we could be seeing an explosion of gateways come out very soon from AcRo, and let's see if Ziktomini is going to be able to hold it off. If he is, then he will be going to I-47 with that sponsored place. Here we go. We have the gateways coming down now. 3 gateways in the main base, going up to a grand total of 4. We have a 5th gateway going down, a 6 and a 7, and he's planting them in different locations so that if an Overlord scouts one, it looks like it's going for 4-gate pressure, but in actual fact, 7 gateways are going down. So 7 gateways and immortals en route now from AcRo. This is going to be an immortal sentry all-in here on Cloud Kingdom in game number 2 of the ESET UK Masters. So let's see if this ends up working. A couple of links moving out across the map now. Going to be taking out that Zealot at the Watchtower. And it's going to be very interesting to see if this ends up holding from Ziktomini. He must know what's coming by now. He sees... okay, now the Overlord sees sentries and immortals moving out. And we have got the Warp Prism out with this army as well. So Ziktomini knows that it's an all-in and it's coming. And he's doing what I really like as a response. He has Zerglings and Roaches out in the middle of the map. Why is this good, guys? I'll explain why it's good to you. If you can engage the army early and force him to use all his force fields before he gets to your base, then you can't use any force fields once you get to the hatcheries, and it becomes super difficult to engage. That's why I love this play. And Ziktomini going to try and move around the back here. And AcRo is forced to use his Warp Prism very, very early on in this game indeed. And there we go, baiting the force fields out of AcRo at the moment, trying to pick apart those immortals and sentries. And Ziktomini looking in great position in this game so far. All he needs to do is back off. And then he comes in again with another bunch of units and forces more force fields out of the sentries. And by the time AcRo gets to Ziktomini's base, the all-in's not working anymore because we just don't have enough sentry energy. An immortal getting picked off as well. And those force fields were not good. Didn't trap any units. AcRo is looking like he's in a super difficult position indeed. Very, very difficult. AcRo's going to try and move ahead anyway. He doesn't really have much of a choice at the moment. And more units coming in from Ziktomini from both sides this time. The force fields are decent on one side, but not good on the other. And AcRo is going to get this army cleaned up if he is not careful here. Good micro with the Warp Prism. More Lings and Roaches coming in, though. Can he hold? Most of the sentries are still alive, but the Zealot wall, effectively, preventing these Roaches from doing huge damage, is now gone. The last Immortal falls. Ziktomini is now twice the supply of AcRo, and he might be taking this series 2-0. And if he does that, he will be getting that final seed to I-47. The Sentry Immortal all-in has not worked. The Warp Prism is moving towards the third base location, but it is just that. It is Warp Prism harass at this point, ladies and gentlemen. There are 4 sentries in it. He can try and block the ramp and warp in units, but there are a decent number of Roaches here already 6 Roaches. Let's see if Ziktomini responds to this. He's just going to move all his units up to the natural. We've got 4 sentries in the mineral line now, but the Roaches come in. And this is going to spell curtains for AcRo. The Roaches moving in at the natural expansion location. Ziktomini, our UK Zerg player, WCS UK champion, moving in now for the kill. The Forge is going to go down as well. And these Zealots at the front just aren't able to be as effective. And oh no, the Roach is getting past the force fields as well. They just haven't been too good this game. And AcRo is going to go down 2-0 in this semi-final. Which means Ziktomini alongside Kras is going to be going to I-47. 142 supply versus 83. The sentries are all dead in the natural. AcRo might be able to just about hold this, but Ziktomini is currently on 67 workers to 46. He's on 3 bases to 2. He has killed so much friggin' stuff this game, and these Roaches have been so unbelievably cost-effective. More and more streaming across the middle of the map. Ziktomini, frankly, can just tech up right now. He can get his 4th base. He can think about what sort of tech he's going. We should think about those upgrades, getting 2-2 actually for Zerglings, because he's going to be reinforcing that. Pathogen Glands, it's on his way as well. And AcRo is fighting right now for his tournament life, but it is looking pretty bleak. And I fear that I do believe Zikto is going to go for the Honey Badger approach, like you guys predict in the chat, making more and more roaches with some lings to back it up, and 2-2 is, well, at least +2 armor is on its way. Those are good force fields this time for AcRo, though, and Ziktomini will not be able to take the game with this push. Excellent positioning from our Protoss player, but Ziktomini is still 50 supply ahead, ladies and gentlemen. What is he going to be able to do? What can AcRo do from this point? He needs to get more sentries and immortals. Maybe he can try again, but the third base is being gooped up. He is stuck on 2 bases now. The work supply is still 69-45. Ziktomini is mining a lot more than he is, and he's getting infestors out with his next push, and he's getting his 4th base. Things are looking super bleak. Oh, and the Warp Prism just got fungled, so AcRo is not able to do any harassment damage here at the 3rd base location as well. Just sad times all around for Protoss at the moment, and it looks like Kras is going to be joined by Ziktomini. Can AcRo actually make this back? He has a decent number of immortals here. And I'm also super happy because Kras is a Terran player, and he's also the first and only Terran qualifier in the 8 players we have going directly into the top 16. And look at this, Ziktomini, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, no, he's not going for the Honey Badger approach. I thought he wasn't going to try and corner the army, and he was just going to go straight into the natural. But it looks like he's going to try and engage out in the center of the map. There are 2 immortals here, 4 immortals, but only 2 of them have any fungal growths on them. AcRo might try and engage, but Ziktomini might be coming in from all sides. There is no number of force fields that's going to help this right now. Excellent fungal growth coming out. And, oh, did I say no amount? That's actually pretty good on 2 sides. But the 3rd side, the roach is coming in with absolute ferocity. Everything gets cleaned up for a 2nd time this game. AcRo has his entire army gone. GG, congratulations, Ziktomini is the ESET UK Masters qualifier.